You ever get nervous for the shows?
Nervous before the shows? I don't think it's nervous. It's like anxiety, so to speak, but not in a stressful way. It's like me getting ready, prepared. So it's just like I'm thinking about every moment, every step, and every second. So it's just like, okay, cool, let's go out there and do our thing. Some nights are stronger than other nights. Some nights I'm just confident and just having fun, but some nights it's like I got a point to prove, show them why I need to be doing it. You know, it's disappointing for me in certain ways because I feel like, you know, certain aspects of my career sometimes are overshadowed by the negative stuff. So it's like, that kind of like fucks with my head a lot. Now, how I transition my creativity is basically all I want to kind of show, you know, because I'm tired of giving people something to talk about, you know. They should be talking about how I'm the baddest motherfucker on the stage instead of, you know, I'm the baddest motherfucker in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? I just try to keep a level head, whatever problem's going on. Like, everybody go through their shit. I go through my shit most of the time. You know, I got a problem every day, but it's like, I try to just keep my head on straight. And I kind of channel some of that energy. If I'm angry, if I'm upset about something, I take it out on the stage.
Swear to God, I'm moving on.
Standing here with a guy right now that knows everyone on the red carpet and everybody wants to work with him.
It's been a blessing. I just can't do nothing but thank all my fans. I just appreciate all the support. It's been incredible.
I ain't going back no more. I ain't going back no more. I ain't going back no more.
The winner is Chris Brown.
So I just want to say thank all the fans. I love you with all my heart.
You're 23 years old. I mentioned you came out with your first music when you were 16. You were discovered at 13.
Chris Brown, Riding High. Brand new CD out, Fame. It's out today. Already has 3 #1 hits, a 4th one climbing the charts.
He's been labeled hip-hop's bad boy.
Chris Brown is accused of assault and battery.
The alleged fight broke out inside a Lamborghini that was
I'm going to tell you something. Let me be
located-
honest. I was disappointed, almost felt let down because I said, this kid could be the great superstar.
Sentenced to 5 years of probation, 180 days of community labor.
I lost my best friend. Like, everything I knew switched.
Brown reportedly used a chair to smash a window in his dressing room.
I guess he's not a morning person.
How are you different?
I've been humbled by the whole experience, from me losing everything. Most importantly, knowing that what I did was totally wrong.
It's also been said people like comeback stories.
For me, it's about proving myself to my fans.
You put me on layaway. You just like a hot shot. Oh, yeah. I think that it's over. I think that it's over. I swear to God, I'm moving on.
From a small town, Tappahannock, Virginia. As you see me throughout my journey, I was about 15 when I started.
Tell me, Paris, have you seen love? It was about 5 minutes.
It was a good start for me as a kid to be able to kind of start off green in a way.
Chris was very, very active at a very early age, probably 1 before he was walking. He started out in child care because I ran a child care center. And he was probably one of the most active child in the facility itself.
Since he was like 2, he wanted to look at Michael Jackson videos and dance. I mean, he could come to my house and get in between the doorways and actually climb them and do backflips, you know. So he was always full of energy all the time.
He would go over to relatives' houses and whatnot, but nobody wanted him to spend the night because Chris was jumping from bed to bed. I was a fan of Michael Jackson's all my life, of course. So he would sit in front of the TV. He would try to mimic his moves.
Being able to see stuff on TV, whether it be my idols, Michael Jackson, or anybody that I looked up to at the time, you know, and be able to try to put myself in that world. I just tried to always look at it like, okay, I could do that, you know, being from a small town, you know, where there's not too many opportunities, but have that mentality to try to push forward and be something bigger and greater.
In school, he liked to be the center of attraction.
You know, it's a cool upbringing, you know, real country. high school about maybe 500 kids, and my graduating class was probably about 30.
Chris was a happy-go-lucky type of kid. He was always smiling, always moving around, dancing. Every now and then you might catch him over there singing. Even on the basketball court, he was somewhat, I guess you could say, creative and always moving and had different moves than the other kids.
I used to go to all of his games. He used to show off a lot. It was like doing his moves on the court, and I'm like, are we playing ball here or what?
He was really artistic. He loved to draw.
They were mostly drawing assignments, and he was very good with the drawing, shading, and detail, and also with the coloring. He missed some time basically because of his, I guess, the routines he was going through.
With my mom, she was a supporter from day one with my music. My dad, you know, he was there too. He actually first taught me how to moonwalk. He used to just, you know, just do it like on gravel one day. I was like, man, how did he do that?
He was a kid, just acting out what he saw, but he actually sung on church choirs at an early age.
He was good at everything, whether he played basketball, football. He had his own style. He might not always had, you know, the means to have like the best of everything because, you know, times were hard. But he would take older clothes, rip them up, tie them back a certain way, adjust them and make his own style. He would dye his hair red.
And then he would go to school and sing like at basketball games and football games, so all the girls would crowd around him, so he really enjoyed that.
I hate performing when there ain't no girls. When there ain't no girls, you just take the life out the performance because you can't just...
Well, my success, you know, I would have to give it all to my family, you know. I think our values as family members and, you know, whether it be your mom, your dad, cousins, uncles, aunts, you know, grandma, grandpa, I think everybody had a real warm and humble approach at life.
See how she, you know she really feel it when she say it, when she laugh like that. Listen. Look at her.
Chris's mom, she was very supportive of his career from the beginning. She always believed in him. She's actually one to say, you can sing.
His father worked at the gas station. As a guy came by, he said he was looking for some talent, and his father said, well, you know, my son sings. It was something that I knew that he was just interested in, so I just went with the flow.
She pretty much dropped it and went to New York to be with him.
From there, they did a little video, and the video got in the hands of L.A. Reid, and L.A. Reid saw it and fell in love with him.
When I heard about Chris, L.A. Reid, one of my influences, he said, you know, I really wish that you can have a conversation with Chris. I mean, you tell him what you want to tell him, as long as you tell him to come with me.
Tell me about the phone call from Usher. That must have been a little bit crazy.
I mean, it was exciting because like I never talked to a celebrity before.
Yeah.
But like it was my first time. He called me. He was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Who this?" He's like, "Oh, Usher." I was like, "Oh, word?"
I told him to make his decision where he goes based off of what's real more than anything. And you got to rock with family.
So he was like, yeah, man, I hear you about to get signed with a different label. I was just asking him, like, who should I go with? And he was like, just make sure it's the best decision for you. Whatever decision you pick and whatever decision you make, the best for you.
That was our first conversation across the board.
It started from there.
His fame came instant. You know, it came all at once.
He was discovered at the age of 13 at a gas station where his father worked. Now he is a platinum recording artist. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Brown.
Being able to maneuver at 15 and try to, you know, and have the success that I did have at the time, I was like, man, this is crazy.
When Run It came out, I heard him screaming all the way out, Mom, my song is on the radio.
They digging it, though.
I remember meeting Chris Brown for the first time in Miami. He just got done recording Run It. And as soon as he got done out the studio, it got in my hands and I went on the radio and broke it, helped break that record. And it was a record I believed in. And I knew he was gonna be the next superstar the day I met him.
I remember the first time Chris Brown came on 106 in Park. I saw people lined up all the way down the block. And I didn't know, I thought some kind of fire drill was taking place or something like that. And as I got closer, I just, you know, I saw it was kids. And then I looked and I saw they had spray paint on the t-shirts and, you know, the signs that said, you know, marry me, Breezy, I love you, Breezy, Chris Brown for life. And I was like, what is going on?
It was fun, but also I'm sure it was very stressful because he couldn't just walk into the store and go shopping. you know, just go play basketball at the gym like he used to.
It wasn't the same anymore. He didn't understand that because he figured he could just go and he'll be fine. I'm a normal kid. I'm just Chris. I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way anymore.
Well, you know, being 14 and 15 with a record deal, you know, it's the best feeling in the world, but it also comes with complications, you know?
I think it's tough for anybody to start out at 14, 15, because you ain't even in high school, you ain't had a chance to like just live regular life. You've already been a star, so a lot of that's overwhelming.
Being that most of your family have dealt with poverty and, you know, under minimum wage, kind of living, you know, most of your life, $10,000 to me was like, dang, I'm rich, you know?
My son calls me, I'm at work, and he goes, Mom, like, you know, there's people outside of our door recording and taking pictures, from paparazzi to even people you knew, just, you know, made it different and difficult having a normal life.
I just was more overwhelmed by it, but just not letting it shape me, like not letting the money kind of shape what I want to do as an artist. Just like with every family, you have problems and complications, you know. Sometimes jealousy and envy plays a big role. It's kind of new to them. Like, it's not really something that even myself really could comprehend at the time.
His mom and dad, you know, they had a great relationship, and, you know, one day I guess they were all together at home as a family, and then it, you know, it fell apart.
Chris not having a father in the house made him to grow up faster than what he actually had to. It was a lot. It was more than I knew that he could handle.
What I always call it is I tell Chris, it's God's balance. God is going to give you that great opportunity to be something fantastic, and then at the same time, he's going to level darkness around you that's going to keep you balanced. So with a person that's 14, 15, hopefully they have someone there to recognize the dark patches and say, okay, yeah, we can do this, but you just got to be mindful of that.
Yeah, it was a challenge, and just growing up thinking that he was in this adult world and thinking that he could do what the adults do, but no, just because it's there for you, you're not going to do that. That is not what you do.
For me, having my mother there created a balance, and I think it was a bit difficult, period, for him.
You sound very driven.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You live with your mom, right?
Yeah.
I think he felt that he had to take care of me. I got to take care of my mom because my dad is not there. I'm the dad of the house, where he felt that he was the man of the house. That's how he thought, and that's actually what he said.
Your family, you expect to be your family. So even family sometimes, you know, change. And
at that point, it was kind of hard because Chris was back and forth with me and his father. And it was hard for his father because I had left.
He grew up so fast, he didn't really get to have a childhood or, you know, a teenage life of a, you know, of a normal person.
I actually wanted him to actually speak to a psychiatrist to just prepare him for what was about to happen because he blew up so fast, knowing that he would not know how to handle it, so that he could talk about it and how it made him feel, but we never could get him to do that.
I want to be at the pinnacle, like the highest point to where I'm known as like a legend almost.
2 years ago, this artist was just another kid in high school. Now, 2 years later, he's one of the biggest stars in the world. Tonight, performing at the VMAs for the very first time, Chris Brown.
I was backstage and my dancer, he ran in, Moody. He was like, yo, you gotta see him. He's on stage right now. He's crazy. And I was like, I'm coming. And out of nowhere, I heard like this groundswell of like hysteria. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just loud. It was loud as it was when I was on stage. So I ran out there, and there he was, killing it. And then I realized, oh my God, he's truly gifted. He's talented, man, in a way that we haven't seen in a long, long time, you know?
He has a gift like Michael Jackson had, that makes you scratch your head and say, what else is he doing? Because I've seen these steps before, I've seen these moves before, but what else is Chris Brown doing?
But when I got in the game, I kind of was like, I wouldn't say alone, but I was like, to myself, I had to prove myself. People wanted to be like, okay, well, cool, well, what is this kid about? Or what can he do?
I remember Chris's first BET Awards performance. I remember he came out with that white jacket. I think I was backstage at the time. I had to present shortly after, and I just remember hearing the rumbling. And so we're looking at the monitor, and we're just watching this kid, man, we're watching him kill it.
This dude is really, really special. I knew he was special, but I didn't realize how incredible of a dancer he was until that day. And I felt blessed to have him.
Really showed the best of Chris's ability to sing and dance and win over a crowd.
Only person I ever thought about like that is Michael Jackson. There's Michael Jackson and there's Chris Brown. And that's just facts.
Just like Michael Jackson opened the door for Usher, I believe that Usher opened the door for Chris.
For any person, African-American artist, period, to have come up in that time and be successful and have that, very delicate mixture of being a singer, dancer, performer, entertainer, man, it was hard.
He was a trailblazer. He was setting the tone. There was a shift in how things were sounding, and there was the shift that was happening from the grungy street sound and how rap was just so hard to how hip hop and R&B and everything was like turning into more dance and more fun.
When I first heard Chris's sound, I just remember it was just like kids just getting always down like on the streets and doing all these beatbox dances, and like, I'm not a dancer, but I definitely was dancing. And I think what Chris started was kind of like that confidence boost in not only males, but I think in females too. And I think he paid a lot of respect to the dancer community.
I just remember seeing this young, fresh-faced kid who's about to take over the world in so many ways.
Because it seems like this whole thing just happened so quickly. How does it seem for you?
It's just a blessing. It's been going real fast.
Yeah.
Everything's been happening so fast.
I was excited for him, and he was so excited. But after that, I guess he blew up instantly. We was on a tour, we went here, we went there. Everything was, and he was so excited and so happy in the music industry at that time.
Chris Brown?
What's up?
Chris Brown?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey. It's your boy Chris Brown, man. You got to run a siren on it, man. You got to drop it. You got to do the dang thing on it, man. You already know how you do it on Power 106 where hip hop lives. I gotta give a game proper, spit it so she get it. There she is, I gotta stop her. Yeah.
Or should I talk about a smile? Or what about a style? I'm out of time. She's out the door. I gotta go for mine.
Once I got an opportunity to continuously make music and be creative and dance and show people my talents, I think that overpowered everything as a whole. I think people kind of saw it and kind of took it for what it was worth, and it was like, oh, you know what, this guy is really talented. I think he has potential. I think he can do his thing.
What he was able to do as a performer was kind of effortless in the way that he performed. I don't know if it was just his passion for it or the fact that he was well studied, or just the simple fact that he just knew where to put every move. It was just perfectly placed. He knew his choreography. He was well prepared, man. But greater than just understanding choreography, he understood the magic of singing and dancing. And that right there is a technique that not every artist understands. It takes a lot of hard work and focus. And as a teenager, for him to be able to do that, I just knew that this kid definitely is headed for major success.
Performing a fun new anthem, Chris Brown!
I think he definitely helped take kind of R&B and hip hop and make it more popular, for sure. Make it more pop and more radio and just more top 40. He definitely has his kind of finger on the pulse of the sound of the streets. There's lots of great singers, there's amazing, great artists out there, but not everybody sings and dances and performs on a level like a Chris Brown does.
Team Breezy, they go hard. They were crazy. Anytime we had anytime he had a video, it was always voted #1. Anytime there was any type of competition between him and other artists, he would kind of always blow people out of the water.
I just try to put 100% in everything I do, my music, you know, what I'm doing as an everyday person. So, you know, I just want to influence and inspire the world just to be better, you know.
No doubt.
Hopefully be better with my music.
He had this energy about him that was unreal. Like, he was non-stop. Every song he played, he had a different idea for it. He had the video for it.
But what I love the most about Chris is his presence. His presence really stands out, you know? I mean, you know that thing when people are like, they're just superstars? Chris is just a superstar.
Standing here with a guy right now that knows everyone on the red carpet and everybody wants to work with him. He's got 3 nominations tonight, of course, Chris Brown. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How about yourself? You good?
Are you kidding me? Hanging out with you guys? A great year for you.
Yeah, it's been a blessing. I just can't do nothing but thank all my fans. I just appreciate all the support. It's been incredible.
And the winner is Chris Brown.
I'm gonna try to keep it short. They got the countdown on the prompter, so I'm kind of totally. I would have gave it to Coldplay, but I'm really I'm lost for words. I just want to say thank all the fans. I love you with all my heart. Thank you.
You know, I went from, you know, being on top of the world, #1 songs, and, you know, being kind of like America's sweetheart, you know, to being Public Enemy #1.